Hello everyone, my name is Jeffrey Blight and we're back with yet another podcast here on the WarpSpeed channel. And I've got my lovely guest, the WarriorJGamer, Dallas in the house.
How's it going?
Well, I think it's gotta be bloody brilliant now that you're here. Same with if you missed our latest podcast talking a bit about the wrestling, then make sure to go and watch, basically listen into that. Just have it on while you're doing something else. Give us your view time, help us get boosted, and make some money out of it. Somewhere in like 2080 when we're all dead. But other than that, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about some gaming today, and the first subject, and you're totally to blame for this. But before we do that, make sure to leave a like, comment what you want to hear on this podcast, and make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell. You know the drill. Fortnite, what have you done to me? And moreover, what have you done to my lovely husband Rick? He's been addicted to this game now. Thank you.
Honestly, it's such an addictive game. I mean, when the game first came out, I was like, "Oh no, I'm never playing this. It's a kids' game." And then, like years gone by, obviously being with my partner now, and I was having kids and all. Her two kids, so my two stepsons, they play Fortnite all the time, and I've been watching them playing. And I've been thinking to myself, you know what? This actually looks pretty fun to play. So they said to me, "Oh, why don't you start playing it?" So I was like, "All right, then." I gave it a try, and ever since I've never put the game down. So it's a very addictive game. So I thought I recommended you to try it, and yeah, you also caught the bug now. So
Curse you, but like it was uh, because you told me like I knew about the building and so, and I was like, oh, this is going to take so much time to learn. And being a former pro gamer in so many games, I was like, I don't want to learn because I'm going to get way too competitive trying to beat everybody out. Like, I want to get to that pro level, but now I was like, no. But then you told me there was zero builds, so I tried that, and people who have seen my channel, they know that, like, first match, I ended up being second. I was so bummed out. I was like, oh, this could have been so perfect. But then, second and third match, spoiler alert, I won. Like, what the blue hell? Like,
yeah,
and I'm not gonna spoil what's coming up in my next video, but I'm gonna play duos with my husband Rick. That went well as well, I could tell you. But yeah, I really understand the battle royale concept. Um, what was the other one? There was another game that was battle royale style, but it went down quite early.
is it still running? Because I think I know what you're talking about.
Might be, but I'm not sure. But it came before Fortnite, and then it was that Fortnite beat it out.
PUBG.
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah,
Yeah, it's still running, but it doesn't really get a lot of reception compared to Fortnite. Like Fortnite beats it, like blows it completely out of the water.
yeah, indeed. So that was the one I had in my mind, but I couldn't remember what it was exactly. So thank you for clearing that up. But
It's okay.
I like the concept of it. The design is on point. Like that's fine. The technique of it and the gameplay is rather easy to learn. So I think
Yeah,
that also quite helps. And now with a zero build, if you're like, I just want to shoot about, miss about, not start to get into the in depths of the game, and still want to win, then that's an option for you, and that's what I executed. So I love that about it. They're really thinking
yeah.
with the gamers.
Yeah, what I love about Fortnite is obviously the mechanics on the shooting. It's very easy to learn. I mean, compared to shooters like Call of Duty, where it's quite in depth and it's more realistic and it can be quite hard to play. Fortnite is for everybody, so it's pretty easy to pick up and play. Do you know what I mean? Once you start to know like the guns and what guns do, you're pretty much set. I also like the graphics. The graphics are improved a lot on next gen consoles like your PS5 and your Xbox Series consoles. Also, I do like the fact that they get a lot of deals to do collabs with other, either other creators or of real people or even people, fancy people. So, like when they're making skins and bringing out skins, they do a lot of collabs with like people from Marvel. Um, like you even got WWE, you got John Cena is in there now. You got Star Wars, like they do a lot of collabs and they actually do like little things where they have real creators come up with concepts to have skins put in the game, and sometimes they get chosen. So that's good as well. And honestly, the amount of times I spend money on skins is ridiculous. I've got quite a lot of skins and I don't use a lot of them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, like I think you should showcase them a little bit more if you can make some content of that because I like to see
Yeah.
that for sure. Like the first thing I noticed is I was like, oh, it's by Epic Games, and Epic Games also recently took over Fall Guys. I was like, oh no, not a big publisher taking over something. But like with Fall Guys, it also did the same thing. Like I'm a massive Doctor Who fan. For a Dutchie, that's weird, but I am. I was so bummed to have missed out on the Fall Guys Doctor Who skins, and I don't think they're in the game anymore. But that was a bummer. But I do really like how the way they work with it. Like they know what they're doing. So
Yeah.
that really helps. And they just instead of other big publishers, they tend to listen to their fan base, which is
Yep.
quite
Yeah.
unusual.
Personally, I'm surprised that they managed to get those deals to do those collabs because there's some characters that don't even get put in any other games. I mean, I was surprised when Dragon Ball Z actually came out
Yeah.
with skins on Fortnite. I never thought I would see the day. I've always wanted it, but I never thought I'd see the day until most recently. They brought out even a second batch of skins. You got Gohan and Piccolo now, but before you had um, Goku, Vegeta, Bulma, and Beerus.
Mm.
So I've got all of them, by the way. Well, I haven't got Piccolo because I couldn't afford it,
But
but
I've got a
I got
lot.
Gohan. But yeah, I've got a lot. Yeah. So that's one of the things that really caught my attention as well, because seeing obviously the kids play and seeing the skins that they've got, and I'm like, oh, that's that person, and then it's like, oh, that's the guy from Fortnite. I'm like, no, let me tell you a story about what I used to watch when I was a kid.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
it's like the same with like 80s music now by Netflix coming in popular on TikTok and like, oh, it's Kate Bush or it's Linkin Park or whichever band like Pink Floyd, and they'll be just like, oh, that's the guy who's famous for TikTok, and we'll just like, hell no. It's like,
Yeah.
you losers, you should know you're the stupid generation. TikTok, no, dude, like 80s, like they played all over the world, but they're famous for TikTok. That's what's wrong with this generation, but that's a whole different ballpark. I'm not gonna engage into that before we get 8 comments and death threats and all that. But yeah,
Yeah.
Fortnite, you got me hooked on it, and I'm really happy that you did. It's easy to spend time on there, but yeah, it's lovely. So yeah. Moving on, and we can't go around this. This was a massive subject in whichever way possible. Hogwarts Legacy. Talk me
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, so obviously it's just come out now. Everyone's raving over it on Twitter, and it's a game I really want to get. I mean, when it first was announced, I wasn't too sure about it until I started seeing some gameplay, and it looks really fun to play. I mean, I love my adventure games, action adventure games like Assassin's Creed, for example,
Yeah.
and it does look really good. I mean, like kind of RPG style with it. Also, I've never been that big into Harry Potter until most recently. I've only seen like three of them, but
Blasphemy.
once, yeah, but once Harry Hogwarts Legacy came out, I've been watching a lot of walkthroughs and a lot of clips on Twitter as well, and it actually made me go back and watch it again. So now I'm currently on the fourth one. I've been doing a little marathon on Harry Potter movies, and it's got me back into it. I mean, when I did watch it as a kid, I wasn't too sure about it. I wasn't really that into it until most recently watching it after seeing, of course, gameplay of Hogwarts Legacy. It's made me want to get into it, so to know more about Hogwarts in general and about the whole story. I know it's not the same as Harry Potter's not in the game or anything like that. Well, I don't know he is, but I want to like be more of a fan, so I want to watch it again, see if it's worth it. And yeah, now I'm hooked even more now.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. Short anecdote, like I've read all the books, like all of them in Dutch and in English. I've
Yeah,
listened to the first three with the audiobooks of Stephen Fry because it's Stephen Fry for God's sake.
yeah.
Um, and of course I've seen all the movies. So but yeah, I've heard a lot about it. I haven't seen any gameplay because I wanted to experience it myself. But
Mm,
you know a game is good when the most requested feature on Twitter is just I want to make sure to sit and take in all of what's going on around me. That was the most requested feature. I just want to take a chair sit and look. I think then
Yeah.
you know your game is good. I've also heard a little bit more about like the classes, like people want it more like of a the bully scholarship style, really
Yes.
going to classes, really getting into that. I see why I think why they didn't do it to keep it a little bit more casual, but if they
Yeah.
do a follow up, make sure that that is the route to go. Really get into the RPG style, getting
I
into the hours
mean,
of
they could
gameplay.
easily.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, they could easily bring out another game, maybe more of an indie game, where it's just all about class. It's all about learning to be a wizard. Not
or
actually going out and exploring, but more of
yeah,
just being in class and learning things, like kind of like a learn how to be a wizard simulator or something like that.
like they could even re-release it with that as an addition, like they did with so many games in the past. I wouldn't mind it at all. If like for a small fee you could like just add into that, that would be fine as well. Because so
Yeah,
many,
like
so,
DLC.
yeah, if that is an option, shut up and take my money, like for sure.
Yeah.
But I've seen bits of the graphics of the game, and the
Wow.
detail amount is insane. PC
Yeah.
Master Race, but if your PC is not Master Race, you will not get the full experience. Then just go on console. That's my tip.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, I like I said, I've seen gameplay. I mean, I've not spoiled myself. I've only seen like just the combat mostly. I haven't seen anything about the story. I've just seen combat and exploration videos. And yeah, the graphics looks amazing. It's like you're actually in there. I mean, that's just judging from me watching it, not actually me playing it myself. So I can imagine it being even better. Do you know what I mean? And also, what I like about the game as well is, as you know, I'm a big fan of creations in general. So being able to create in games, and I like the fact that there is quite a lot of creation options for creating your own wizard. There's a different selection of hairstyles, skin colors. You can change the pitch of your voice to make it how you want it to be, and of course cosmetics as well. I do really like that. I mean, that's a big fan. That's something I'm a big fan of in games. That's why I love wrestling games that much because I'm a wrestling fan, and also because I like to go in depth with my creations and create like characters based on you myself or people or even fictional characters.
Yeah, I fully agree on that. And of course, there's been a lot of controversy about Ms. J.K. Rowling herself, seeing as what happened with in this case, I have to call it out, the trans community. So I get
Yeah,
why people are hesitant. I get why people might boycott it from their standpoint, and I'm a big ally of my peeps because this is my community partially.
yeah,
Um, but
100%.
the problem is boycotting this game will not help it. Like, I see that the revenue is going a bit to her because that's normal, it's her rights. I get it. But what is it worth? I think they did an excellent alternative of not including any gender selection at the start of it. So just getting the option to style it. I think that's I think the developers of this game would have foreseen this problem and thought, well, we'll go about it this way, and I think that was a good strategy and a moral choice. But boycotting a game
Yeah.
is never a good option.
Mm. I mean, they even did that in Saints Row, like the latest Saints Row game.
Yeah,
You don't really choose a gender. Well, you can if you want to,
yeah,
but you can choose either, and you can change them how you want to. So you can have a male, like a cis male, um, change the way they look, change the voice to have a female voice.
yeah.
Give them obviously the anatomy of a woman. You can do whatever you want with it, and that's pretty cool in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm happy that they left the change up because we've seen boycotts of games before, and me as an avid gamer, my collection is above and beyond 1,100 games in total. So I'm an uber nerd. But I don't think that's the right way to go. If you really want to get to it, play the game, show off how you are going to do it as a community, but also don't disregard your love of the series. Like that's my call. So I'm going to get it, but I will try to promote it in the right way possible because I think that is the best way to go about it. That's my own call.
Yeah.
Um, Speaking of, because we don't want to end that on a bummer, because we never do, we have had Nintendo Direct. And I get it, but there was not too much trailblazing. But your standard games that are coming out, like the Xenoblade Chronicles expansion pass, the Mario Kart expansion pass, new tracks that are coming that was already in it. Then we have had the new Fire Emblem Engage expansion pass again. And then we also have had the new Legend of Zelda, the new Kirby's, all that. A series of remasters. And I definitely bet that that's going to be your favorite game of all time. Here it comes. Hold on. Hang on for suspense. Fashion Dreamer.
What is that?
You are going to be a fashion designer.
You know what? I mean, to be honest with you, Nintendo games are really expensive and they never seem to go down in price.
Oh, yeah.
But let's say if I did win that game in a giveaway of some sort, I probably would play it because, like I said, I do really love creating characters and designing characters. So I'll probably would dab into that maybe, but I don't see myself going to the store and picking it up.
No, indeed. But, like, I think the best one in the entire line of things that they had, like, of course, the new Legend of Zelda, that's always getting me hooked, but I haven't played Zelda in many, many years. That I've got to
I
be
never
honest
played a
now.
Zelda game before. I've always been curious, but I never played a Zelda game before in my life.
Some of them are good, some of them are bad. Just check the reviews online, you know it. But there's also
Hmm.
one that catches my eye, and that is something for avid Disney fans, and I'm not one of them, absolutely not. But I think if you're an avid Disney fan, Illusion Island is coming. That's basically the old cartoony styles, like the when they started out, 40s, 50s, 60s. That style of animation into a game. So I think that that's going to resonate with a lot of older fans as well, who are just trying to play a casual platformer game. I think that's going to be the one that's coming. Also, a
Hmm.
new Castlevania, like that's
Okay.
for old as well, and a new Tron game. So there's a lot on the
Tron.
horizon. Yeah,
Hmm.
there's
Big
a
fan of Tron.
yeah, there's a lot on the horizon. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that's going to come about. But I'm not going to get too much into detail on it because I think that if we really want to discuss something, I think that it's what you said. Nintendo, they have a tendency habit of putting their prices high and also keeping
Yeah.
it there. Like it's a reverse with like Sony and the PlayStation. They start up high, then slowly and gradually come down.
Yeah.
Microsoft is just quite like the same like Nintendo. They start off high, but they also stay high unless you really have some excellent discounts that are coming by. Um,
Yeah. I
so
mean, even if you want to get the games second hand, they're still quite expensive, which is it's bizarre.
yeah, it
What is it
is.
about Nintendo that makes the price so high?
Yeah, indeed. That's what I don't get. Is it like, and if you look at the finances of Nintendo, it's not like you could have said like they cannot be made any cheaper because that is not the case. They're turning excellent profits. So like, I really think that they should take a close look. But for as long as it's like working out for them, they don't see the necessity to change that. Only if their sales would drop massively, I think that that is the only way that it would turn around. But other than that, they will keep. As long as people keep paying for it, well, it's gonna keep on
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah. I mean, I have a fair few games on the Switch that I've got digitally, and a couple of those actually won in a giveaway over Twitter. But I don't use it as much as I should, but that's because I don't really commute as much as I do. I don't really dock it to the TV because I've got my PlayStation. I've got an Xbox also as well. But the reason why I got the Switch initially was for commuting. So if I'm ever traveling anywhere, I can just take it with me and just play. Then I can, wherever I'm going to, I can dock it to the TV and play from home. But Most of the games I wanted to play was like your Legend of Zelda. I wanted to play that for the first time. Breath of the Wild, I've heard that's amazing. Obviously all the Mario games. I think some Sonic games as well, things like that. But I can never seem to afford them because obviously I've got other consoles that I play most of the time, and I pay to buy those games as well. But I don't really buy a lot of the Nintendo games unless they're on a big sale, or sometimes to do a big sale on the Nintendo Direct store.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I honestly I have no idea. I mean, it's not super expensive, but I mean, if you have a long list of games to play to obviously go through your backlog, it can get really expensive.
Yeah, absolutely. So closing that off, I just want to get your final call, and before you do that, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe because you know the drill. But we sure want to keep you reminded of because the more you do, the more we grow. And take a look at our individual channels as well. Go subscribe to them. Go subscribe to Dallas. Go subscribe to me. It's gonna be good. You know it. But what I want to close off with is what are you playing right now? Like, are there any games that you're still into or getting through the stories or anything else?
Yeah. What do you think it is?
Hey, of course, it's got to be Fortnite. I know that.
Yeah, yeah. Fortnite is what I'm currently playing. I mean, I'm always going back and forth on Fortnite and Call of Duty just to do some camo challenges on Call of Duty. I don't really play it that much, but because this current Modern Warfare 2 game, it's quite easy to level up and quite easy to get to mastery levels. So I'm trying to get like a bunch of SMGs gold before I get to diamonds, and I'm gonna go back on Fortnite. I've completely finished the battle pass now, so I'm over level 100 now on Fortnite. But there's a new update that came out yesterday where it brought out a lot of OG guns that I never got to play, and they are absolutely amazing. There's also a new Battle Pass system that's free for anyone who doesn't even have Battle Pass, where you can do some challenges on there. I think there's a back bling, a glider, a pickaxe, a skin, and a bunch of other cosmetics on there as well. So I'm probably going to be playing that today. But there's also a good few games I've got on my backlog that I need to play as well. And I think the next game I need to finish is Saints Row.
All right.
Then I might go on to God of War. I've got the new God of War Ragnarok, but I haven't finished the other God of War game yet either. There's also Last of Us that I need to play. I still haven't finished the first one. So there's quite a lot of games I need to play as well.
There's a lot of
I need to get
goals
them. Yeah,
coming in. Yeah, I get you. I feel you on
yeah,
that. Like, there's so much that I still have to be going through. Like, people can watch this on my channel. Like, I'm working on Crash Bandicoot 4, like the actual one by the actual
yeah.
developers. Nina Cooney is an RPG I'm playing. Ayudi and Chronicle Rising. And then I still have Final Fantasy 15 installed. There's like so much that I still have to get through. So I'm happy to do that, and that's one of my goals and content creation this year as well on my gaming channel, is to like also play casual games, but also try to really develop something that I like as well, which my specialty is RFW and RPG. So like that's what I want to get into. That being said, final notice: do you have any goals for this year when it comes to content creation?
Yeah, so I want to start streaming more often, as usually I just do whenever I feel like it. But I do want to try and build up some sort of fan base. It's never a goal to be big like other creators out there, as I just do it for fun. But I do want to try and get more of a following on my Twitch. I do have more subscribers on my YouTube compared to that. So I want to try and stream more often. Maybe after the wedding this year, I want to try and get a decent setup so I can start YouTube again as well, so I can do some proper videos. I used to do a lot of unboxing videos, but
Yeah.
it's getting the money to actually pay for these products to do unboxing videos on. But for the games I already have, I want to stream more on there, do a lot of Fortnite streaming, Call of Duty, even some single player games. So just going through my backlog and the streaming it as I go along as well. So there's that as well. So yeah, with streaming on console, it's kind of hard compared to PC as well
Mm,
because there's not a lot you can do. You're quite limited to what you can do.
yeah.
So usually you just obviously turn on your console and then hit record and then start playing. There's no overlays or anything like that I can do, but that's not really important anyway. But things like if the game crashes, it completely stops the video. So you don't go to the dashboard, it's not still recording, it just completely stops. you can only record the game you're playing. Once you're off the game, then it stops. You gotta do it all over again. You gotta create a new. You gotta do another video. So that's the only thing. Because I was doing a lot of DDB 2K22 on there, going through my rise, and then one time the game crashed, and I had to do another stream. So there's that
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, I get that. I get that completely.
But yeah, I want to try and stream more often. Maybe come up with a schedule where I can stream maybe twice in a week. Maybe do a weekend as well, so 3 times in a whole week. Start off with that, and then build myself up gradually. Maybe do like an hour or two each time I stream.
Awesome. Yeah, well, you know, I'm always supporting you. I've been long-standing, long-time partners in that. So you know I've always got your back in that.
Yeah, thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. As for me, my goals this year, I've really thought about it. I've been down and out a bit with an injury, but you've heard the story about the car accident. Oops. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm getting back into this. I'm trying to really get to a schedule. I'm like semi contemplating. Am I going to stream or am I going to do a recording style? I'm going to try and do it a bit midway, just see how that indeed combines with the private life. Unfortunately, we're not 16 anymore and living at home, so that we can do that all day.
Yeah.
Shame, we've got our private lives. You've got your wife and your lovely stepchildren and your own children. For me, I have a lovely husband at home. So yeah, that has to tie in. But we'll find a way somehow, and we're going to get into it. My goal, indeed, also a bigger following would be nice. Not necessarily, but it would be nice. And we'll see where it ends up in the future. Closing remarks before we go off. I will make sure that our own website, the WarpSpeed site, will be updated as soon as possible with these lovely podcasts that we're producing. And I'm going to make sure that everybody's going to get some more time on that. Some lovely interviews, maybe. We're going to get into the nitty gritty right on there. So go check them out. Be sure to check out the Warrior J Dallas's YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, and all the other partners involved. Joel, thank you again for joining me on this lovely podcast.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're always welcome. And you're going to hear more, see more of Joel on his own channel and here on WarpSpeed. My name is Jeffrey Blight, and we'll see you until the next time. Peace out.
Bye.